3 years ago, I could barely look a man in the eye. Now, after making hundreds of thousands of dollars later, I now run a global network that is taking over the world. A lot of you are wondering, how did I get here? How did I get to this place? I'm gonna show you guys how I was able to take myself, who was a nervous wreck in the UK, barely look a man in the eye, couldn't speak to people, had speech problems, zero confidence, to completely changing my character and my life by moving to a foreign country without being fake or having to fake anything. Because all of us have it in us. All of us have the charismatic version of ourselves that is able to make money, that is able to talk to girls, that is able to do everything that we've ever wanted to do. We all have it inside us. It's just being able to break that person out whilst being authentic. So chapter 1, my life in the UK, right? I grew up with a stutter. I still have a stutter right now. I still have speech problems, but I've tried to control it so much throughout my life to a point where I have literally now told myself I'm not going to do it. If I'm in a really, really nervous situation or there's a quite stressful time going on in my life, sometimes it does come out, but most of the time I'm able to control it. But back in school, I couldn't even say my own name. I would stress about the teacher calling my name out in the register at school because I would not be able to say my own name. People that have a stutter, there's like certain words and sounds. Obviously, my name is Brandon. Brandon starts with a B. If you have a stutter, it's very hard to pronounce words that begin with a B at the start of a sentence. So I couldn't even say my own name, guys. Like literally at school, I was a wreck, nervous wreck. I was only able to really communicate with like a few people that I really loved and I trusted at school. People like Jake, who obviously like never used to judge me, used to take me for who I was. But yeah, I had no confidence. Yeah, like struggling with that for your whole school journey and early life. Of course, it was a heavy weight to hold. I kept my circle small. I'd say I had like 4 or 5 very close friends. Like some of them have actually gone on to do some quite cool things. A lot of them stayed in the same environment. And where I'm from, Peterborough in the UK, there's not really any environment for growth. There's not many success stories that come out of our neighborhood. So I was in an environment where there was no room for growth really. I'd say you can only really find success in Peterborough if you leave, personally, in my opinion. But growing up in the UK, anyone in the UK can relate, you get dragged into an energy draining lifestyle. Like the weather for the majority of the year is very rainy. In the winter it gets colder, like 4 o'clock. And it's not really the best place to grow up from my personal experience. The best part about moving is that you get a second chance. You get a second chance to really grab life by the throat and get everything you want out of it. So the first thing I did when I first started making money in crypto in 2020 is that I booked an apartment with my friends in Newcastle. And I mean, I was already doing the hard part. I was making money online remotely in 2020. But what I didn't do is go to a new environment and change myself, right? Newcastle was a chance to have a fresh start. Obviously, I'm from the south of the UK, I'm moving all the way up to the north of the UK. I could have really made myself somebody in this city. Like Newcastle is a nice city, I think it's one of the better cities to live in the UK. And I moved to this place and I was the exact same person that I was in Peterborough. I used to drink alcohol probably 3 or 4 times a week. I was out of shape. I did used to go to the gym, but I didn't take it completely seriously. My diet was poor. My habits were very, very poor. I probably used to wake up at midday a lot of the time. And I didn't make people in Newcastle respect me because I was a clown. In the UK, if you're a clown, people are going to treat you like a clown. And although I was making money online, I moved to this city up north. I still kept the same person that was a fuck up in Peterborough pretty much. And I was just treated like a clown there. I ended up going all the way back to my mum's house. I was fairly low on money because I was an idiot and I achieved nothing. It was a failure of a move. So the next thing I wanted to do after I built myself back up again was I wanted to move out of the UK. This time I decided to move to Thailand. I knew Thailand was very cheap in terms of cost of living. It's a very welcoming country. It has a warm climate, hot all year round. And I heard really, really good things about the place. So I booked a one-way ticket to Bangkok. But this time I was gonna change my character. I was going to change who I was. I was going to go to Thailand. I was going to be the new Brandon, the Brandon that didn't stutter, the Brandon that carried himself like a leader, the Brandon that got himself in the gym 7 days a week, was consistent to his diet every day. I was going to become a new person. And it wasn't easy. My first couple of months in Thailand, I was slowly getting sucked into the old Brandon habits. Like me and Jake were going out a couple of times a week. We probably weren't waking up at the times we should have done. We were getting dragged into things we maybe shouldn't have been doing. But this is why self-awareness is so important, because I was able to spot that I was doing things I shouldn't be doing, and I told myself off for it, and I stopped doing it. I slowly killed the old Brandon. In my old hometown, Peterborough, people knew me for who I was when they first met me. the Brandon that was unconfident, the Brandon that couldn't look a man in the eye, the Brandon that stuttered every time he spoke. So if I decided to just turn into the new Brandon, the new and improved version 2 of myself, and I went back to that old environment, people would be like, what are you doing, bro? Because they knew me for who I was back when I lived there. But it was so easy to come to Thailand and become the new Brandon, become the version 2 of myself, because nobody had ever met me here before. So the first time I ever met new people, it was my first impression. They didn't know anything about me, anything about my past, anything about my background. They are judging me off the first interaction they have with me, and their first interaction is the new confident Brandon. So it was very, very easy to move to Thailand and become a new person, but living in the UK would have been very, very difficult. That's why I think so many people come here to Bangkok and they become successful, because they're able to completely change themselves and no one's going to judge them for it, because nobody knew who they previously were. That's why I think it's so important to change your environment. And by moving to Thailand and becoming a brand new person, becoming the new improved version of myself, I was able to attract good people into my life. Very beautiful women who saw me for what I was. Very high value people in my network who obviously see and gain value from me, and I gain value from them. I'm able to network with top 1% people around the world. I think all of this only happened because I moved, I changed my environment, I became the new and improved version of myself. See guys, a lot of you aren't stuck. Your city is keeping you stuck. You just have to be able to branch out, let the butterfly spread its wings, and go out and be yourself. Give yourselves a second chance at life. And guys, you don't have to come here and be a fake person. I did not become a fake person. I literally just used what was stuck inside me the whole time to actually use my charisma to go out and do what I needed to do. For some reason in the UK, I held that all inside. Everything you guys are seeing now, I had it inside me when I lived in the UK, but I wasn't able to let it out. You don't have to come here and be a fake person and fake your life. You just have to change your environment and come and be yourself. No one is going to judge you for it. And by doing that, you guys are going to become so much more confident as well. Like, real confidence is earned by coming and doing things like this, by proving things to yourself, by overcoming challenges, by getting out of your comfort zone. This is how you become more confident. If you can relate to this, if you think that you are someone deep inside that is capable of so much more, but you're stuck in an environment where you guys feel you're not supposed to be, you're not around good people, you're not around people that are making 5, 10, 20, 30, 40k a month, which you guys should be. Time to reflect on your city, reflect on your circle, think, is this really the right place for me to build the life that I've always dreamed of? If it's holding you back, guys, look no further than to reach out and apply for the 1%. My very own private network, based all around the world. We have guys in England, guys in the UAE, guys all over Southeast Asia, and we're also branching out to South America early next year. If you guys want to be around the top 1% in the world, I'll put the links in the description for you guys to apply. We'll be looking through applications this week and we will get back to you guys as soon as possible. Hope you guys have enjoyed today's video, gained some value. I'll see you guys in the next one.